Hey everybody, and welcome to Monday night's edition of Paranormal Question of the Day. And we'll be back right after the message. And we're back. So, hopefully everybody is having a good Monday and got some work done and got some nap time in. Like I wish I can get more in, but... So, today we have Mr. Dom S. I can't say his last name, so I ain't going to say it.
Santarsiero. Darren, thank you for having me here. Thank you. I mean, it's a pleasure, my brother.
Absolutely. And today, we're just gonna have like a chat on graves and just other stuff as well. So, we're giving some noogies, aren't we?
Tom Nelly said, "Hey, there's Tom Nelly right there."
There you go.
2 books is right there, Mama. 2 books in the chat sections.
Just get my stuff set up here. All right.
BB3TV, guys, by the way.
Yes. Oh, by the way, this is the question, but we'll go back real quick and we'll get show the folks that are in here. There's Tom. And there is Patricia.
She says, "Hi, guys," but fuck that up. Oh, you got parental advisory on this show?
Yes, I do.
Indeed.
Yes, I do.
Nice
So today, so you have a show on BB3 TV for YouTube, and you also have, hello there,
Farmer.
Hey, Farmer, and kind of tell us what you do for BB3 TV, the stuff you like to do, and then after that, we can get into the paranormal question of the day.
As far as the start of BB3 TV and like what I am at BB3 TV, well, I am the heartbeat of BB3 TV. Bob Burnell, what's happening, brother?
Hey, welcome to the show.
Supports right there. I am the heartbeat of BB3 TV. I am the founder of BB3 TV. Tom is one of my brothers in the world. We spent many nights together as far as like interacting in backstages, figuring things out, working for other networks, and we said we need to do this ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed a 3, BB3 TV. BB means baby bird. It's one of my names growing up as a kid. Everybody called me Bird and Baby Bird, things like that. So I wanted that. Tom said that was too kiddish. And
Right.
We had something that someone else brought up from another network that said BB3. So we need 3 members. 3 is my lucky number. And we had somebody else at the time for a 3. They did not work out. Gladly, we had Taryn.
There you go.
Was the first show in BB3 TV, and that's what it is. So
she is on her way in.
Yep. So I'm grateful for Taryn. I'm grateful for Tom, because this is a Hollywood dream that I didn't need agents. We just do it ourselves.
That's awesome.
BB3 TV.
That's awesome. That's quite an accomplishment, because things are starting to flourish, and and glad to be part of the network.
You know it.
This is great stuff.
Where's Taryn at?
She's coming. She texted me.
Cool.
She'll pop in, and when I least expect it, and scare the shit out of me.
Now, you asked me another question there with paranormal. I was trying to explain BB3.
Okay, so you have a YouTube channel, and what do you guys do on the YouTube channel? Is it Grave Guys, correct?
Well, that's the TikTok at Grave Guys at Grave Guys at TikTok. But Craig and I, there he is, right there. What's up? Hey, Craig, if you could run over here. I'm trying to click on him. It's not my thing. Darren, if you could run over here, we could talk about this tonight. Just hit the window, and we'll bring you right in.
Winda.
I tried to call you about 30 minutes ago.
Who, me?
Come over. No, not you, but Craig.
Oh, whatever.
Craig and I,
Hey, Craig.
We've always loved paranormal, and we talked about this over like a summertime thing, and then Craig said, let's start
Are you doing the comments, or am I doing them?
You are.
Jesus Christ, what is all going on here?
We got a ghost. Welcome, Taryn. Thanks for joining today.
All right, he's in the tub. But anyway, Krager, uh,
In the tub.
there's a question. Show it. So, all right, so Krager, you're in the comment section. Look up this. Graves with headstones versus graves with no headstones. Is the energy that much more different? So that's the question, the paranormal question of the day.
Correct.
I want to hear your insight on it, and I want to put my insight on it too as well. You being a grave guy like myself, and Ashley as well. I would love to intermediate this with you.
Hey.
Taryn, I love the way you do that. You do that heart shit, and it's so good. It's like perfection.
Yeah, see, I can't do it.
Darren, look at all these people here. I love everybody. What's up,
Alita? Welcome.
New people, new faces.
Yes.
Yeah, this is awesome. Monday night. I think this is a good time slot for this.
Right. It allows more time for people to have discussions versus the daytime because I got shoot the shit out of the door right away. So.
Hey, Kayla.
Hey,
Hello.
Kayla. How you doing?
Look what I'm wearing, Kayla.
Ashley Knapp right there. She's a part. She
Hey,
is
Ashley.
the grave guy's system. She goes, I don't feel there is a difference.
Well, how would you
feel there
know?
is a difference.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
How do you know they're there?
Are we getting this right now? All right. So, graves with headstones versus graves with not headstones.
Yep.
I feel like, probably in my heart, with no gravestones, I feel bad about it because I feel like there's a spirit calling somewhere. Like, remember me, please, fucking find me somewhere in the world, right? Like, and then there's the graves where it's like it's beautiful and like you're remembered and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then, Craig, remind me of that name that was on the spirit box that called me. Like it was like one of these things where it's like I remember her grave and I took a picture of it. There's a picture on her grave that had so much energy to it. Emma. It was Emma. And there was so much, there it is. And there was so much energy on her grave with the picture there. And I just don't know how to feel. I mean, you're watching the grave.
What about the people that get buried that don't believe in that? And just because they're there without a headstone or they're there without, they didn't believe in, people, having a grave or stuff like that, because there are people in the world that don't believe in that, just because they get buried somewhere doesn't necessarily mean that that there's going to be more energy there.
Well, like I said in the beginning, where it was like, if I feel like there'd be more energy on that grave where there's no gravestone to say, hey, remember me. Like, I want that feeling. Maybe that's in my thoughts and my heart saying, hey, remember me there. I didn't say like, they're saying something, but I felt a lot of energy in the graves that were there. Like Emma with the picture there, I felt her, like they speak to you in a way.
The picture helped.
I don't know.
So, before we go a little bit further, I just want to point out that, okay, now when I was talking about no headstones and you got just a field like by a mental facility that has like a cemetery off the side that don't honor anybody at all, and they just go and bury them all in bunches, like 700-800 people. Like where I live, there's about 750 people that have no headstones. They're just markers. That's it, and they're not accounting for who they are.
Now, with what Ash just said and everything that's going on, do we put more energy into those gravestones as far as like, hey, it's overgrown with plants, weeds, algae, things like that? Do we put more of our emotion in saying, hey, that headstone is talking to us? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's our intuition saying we don't want our headstones looking like that when we're dead.
Right.
Maybe, right?
That's what I would say. I mean, you're going that far to do all that stuff for other people that you don't know. That is telling that's how you want to be treated.
How many headstones have we found just placed up against a tree, broken on the ground, and we have no idea where? Yeah, for sure. Like forgotten tombs. It's like nobody wants that.
Mm-hmm.
I think headstones can offer a way to mourn and communicate to the ones we have. I 100% agree. So I'll put my hand on a tombstone and I'll talk to them at times. I'll say, hey, we're here to remember you, things like that. Like, it's not like, hey, Taryn, you probably make fun of me for saying hey like that, but you understand, like, I'm going to talk to that gravestone in a way, like, after I cleaned it, and be like, hey, you know what, you are not forgotten. I may not see you again for the rest of my life, but at least we're here to clean you.
Right.
And we're not here for a TikTok video, but thank you for being you, especially being military. What we do, military, from Confederate to now to everything, just all what we do. Children who didn't even see months of their lives,
Right.
Yeah.
months of their
Well,
lives. Think about that.
So what I was saying wasn't that some people don't want headstones. That's not what I said. Hi, Jing.
Hey, Jing.
What's up, Ajing?
What I'm saying is, like, my father, for one, didn't believe in that.
Mhm.
He didn't believe in being buried in a cemetery. He didn't believe in people coming there to, on his birthday or on his anniversary of his death to give flowers. He didn't believe in it. And for me, going there, I just don't think him going there or me going there is doing anything, bringing me any closer to him, bringing him any closure, doing anything like that. Because, like I said, I know he didn't believe in that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that don't believe in that process of it. Like, it's just, they're like, oh, that's just my body. That's just my body. It's a skeleton.
I guess.
Do you feel better when it's spraying of the ashes, though? Do you feel better that in that aspect of, okay, now you're spreading ashes where it just, huh?
That's what I would want. I would want my ashes. I want my ashes spread on Little Round Top.
Yeah.
And because that's where I want to be. But on the flip side of that, I do think that if there are those that are buried, that either they're like Alita said, there are, like, sometimes the cemeteries, they build parking lots over because they're sold, they forget about. Sometimes there's people that are buried in Potter's Fields that didn't have anybody. If they didn't have anybody, then they're not looking for anybody. They're not going to be there. You know what I mean? So, but there's people in sometimes there could be somebody that's there that wants attention or wants to be heard, or wants to be found,
Well, Taryn, may I connect with you real quick on something? Like, say you were buried at Little Round Top, right? And your ashes are spread there. And you're dead, and I'm still alive. Like a graveyard, I go visit you, knowing your ashes are there. That's now your tombstone, right? I'm going over there to talk to you. It's almost the same concept to go to a graveyard, right? Knowing that Taryn is in this place. Her ashes are spread there. I'm going there to talk to Taryn under the stars and with the sky with me. You might be there, right?
Yeah.
Same thing as the graveyard.
But I believe that would be your energy, wanting me to be there and connecting with me and knowing.
Probably.
Like, if there was somebody that was there that, I mean, I'm not going to sit down and just talk to some little Joe Schmo. That's, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But they might want to connect with you because they'll say, "Oh, who's this lady?" And they try to look you up.
Yeah.
People do that. If they do go to graves and they sit there and say, "Oh, okay, well, what's that?"
Spirit will be at the Eisenhower farmhouse.
Yeah, but I'm just
will be at Little Round Top.
But what I'm saying is that when people go to cemeteries and they pay tribute to the person that's buried there, or they go to somebody and say, hey, this is kind of a cool grave. Who is this person? And then they're going to go look at this person up and see who they were in life, and they might have a connection with that person,
For the first time in my life, I got to see my grandmother's grave. She's tatted on both arms. For the first time in my life, I got to see it while I was up in Jersey. She ain't at that grave. She's at 54 Monmouth Road in New Jersey. She ain't at that grave. So I understand what you guys are saying. Maybe that energy connecting is a search. Like, say, hey, Emma on that grave is a search to find Emma where she's at. Like, maybe we don't have that education in our brains to how to find her, EVPs and all this type of shit. Maybe she's trying to connect.
But I don't want to take away from anything that you guys do. I think what you guys do is amazing.
We only do it because we love it.
Would absolutely love to do that. Hi, my love. Gettysburg Bash.
Craig says it right there. There's a lot of history. You learn about people because Ash pulls up this whole thing where you learn about the people. I mean, there's somebody died in, for a cut on themselves. They were in a car accident or some shit, and he was a sheriff. I mean, you learn so much about people, and you clean their graves when nobody is coming back for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Grave Guys does, because we came back. Hopefully, in 100 years, they'll do the same shit for us. That's the whole thing. The
Right.
energy on the graves is maybe something where it's like human built, like Taryn and we're trying to explain. It's like maybe human built within our souls. Like, hey, we got to do the right thing here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just paranormal. It's more so like, well, fuck, I love one. I gotta get this right. We gotta buy a heart shirt for Taryn. I mean, I can't say this alone because Craig's with me and Ashley. Like, it's a thing we do because we love what we do and we feel at peace doing it.
No,
Right.
absolutely. I'm all for it. When I was in my training with my ghost hunting group, this is one of the things that we did. We went to graves and we cleaned the graves and we, fixed the stones. And so I've done it. And I remember feeling, that sense of gratification and that you actually maybe you did help a spirit rest a little easier,
Yeah, absolutely.
now they're properly, because there are people that on the flip side of that believe in that hardcore,
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, too, bringing on that, like, what
but I think back in the day, they believed in that stuff more than what they do now. So the older the cemetery, I believe that you might be getting that energy reaction that you're talking about in the older cemeteries. Because nowadays people are like, oh, ash me and throw me over a river. And you know what I mean? Like nobody really, nowadays it's not about that anymore,
Yeah, and sometimes when people get cremated, it's probably the better option because they can't afford the other option too.
But say there's ghosts sitting outside their graves, like a little girl or something, like, I'm forever forgotten, like a Casper. And like somebody like us that comes in to just say hi. It's like, we don't know yet. We're not dead. I don't think we're doing anything like, I feel like we just need to keep on this path to say, hey, we're here, because I can't acknowledge this enough. I want it done for me 100 years after I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't want to be sitting at my gravestone as a ghost and look at everybody and they're just passing me by. All my friends and family are all dead with me. Like what? Forgotten soul?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I just want to touch on this. The gravestones are a focus point for people. Whether the dead are there or not does not matter. It does matter, because so I was told that my dad goes to his grave when I'm there to comfort me. He doesn't like going there,
But he does it out of
but he does it for me, is
Right.
what I was told by someone who did not know that my dad did not believe in that. They said that you go there, when you go there, he's there because you're there. And he
because
doesn't
you're wanting him to
have to
be
remember
there.
that even in an investigation, whether or not wherever you're at, it doesn't have to be a cemetery. You always have to have respect for those that have crossed over.
Sure.
Yeah.
You always have to say it does matter if they are there or not.
Yeah, and ask them if they want to be crossed over. I mean, if they don't want to, that's their option. But you know what I'm saying? They might like where they're actually at and not want to leave where they're at. You know what I mean? They're comfortable in that house. If they're comfortable in that house or that hotel or a car, that they haunt a car. But if that's where they're comfortable being at, then that's where they're going to be.
Yeah, for sure. And I actually I trusted that person's opinion so much that I have not been back to my dad's grave, as close as we are, since that person told me that. Because I know how my dad felt about it, and then for somebody to turn around and reiterate that to me 15 years later, unprovoked, like this was like, I have to tell you something, that your dad's telling me. So now I have gone once. I went once after that just for my own peace of mind, but then I haven't gone since. It was like directly right after that, because that was a piece for me. But when I found out, knowing what I knew, and then that person says that to me, I was like, wow, there's got to be some intervention going on there, some divine intervention going on there to say, listen, I want to be with you and I want to help you, but not there because I don't like there.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. So, does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask Dom?
Well, I like this. I think it depends on the person. Like, if I was buried, I wouldn't be there. I'd only go if someone I love visits me.
right, then that's what she was saying. My dad was doing,
Yeah.
coming there to comfort me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that upset me, because he can come sit next to me on my couch and comfort me. Like I don't want him to be there if that's not where he wants to be.
Well,
Right.
can I add to this too? Like, besides us cleaning graves, we see things in graveyards that just shouldn't be. Like
Right.
Ashley and Craig and myself, we see things. Like, one thing that got me hot on one of our lives was the stupid asses who actually take care of the place decided to weed eat over the American flags.
Oh, I would love that.
American flags everywhere. Like, I got them all here. I'm not going to let them sit all over the friggin' ground.
Right.
These people, Confederates. We caught shit for this,
It
by the
doesn't
way.
matter. Right.
Some Confederates. We caught shit for it. You know what? This
Did
is
you
a part of
clean it?
history. Get over it. So
Yeah.
wait, what did Ashley say? Since your dad didn't believe in it, how would you feel if someone like us came along? Yeah. All right.
No,
So
I would be totally about it. I love it.
that's a great question, Ash. What a great question. And we think about that all the time. Like, how does the family, react to us going to clean it? We don't get that. We get permission to go into places. We never vandalize or anything like that. We don't want to mess up the stones.
Yeah, if it was the opposite, I'd be pissed off.
Sure.
Right.
Just because headstone. That first of all, they're not cheap.
No,
Some
they're
are
not.
sandstone, and like when Craig and I first started learning, like if you touch it, you could feel the sand rolling down the headstone, Taryn. It's like, but if you scrape it with a brush, you'd ruin everything. So you can't touch it.
Right.
So you just spray it with a little bit of water or something, and you leave it alone. You cannot destroy something that's there. I mean, it's not our property.
Right. And that's a disclaimer. Just don't go out to a cemetery and start cleaning shit. You have
No.
to know what you're dealing with. You have to be educated on the type of stone you're dealing with and
Yes.
this and that. Like you can't just go out there and just start cleaning whatever.
You're absolutely right. We get permission for every grave site we're in. We get permission from the owners. We explain what we're doing and how we're doing it and the reason behind it. We don't make any money and things like that. We just do it because we want to do it and for respect. And they said, you go right ahead and you do this. So we do it.
Right.
No questions asked. And we pick up trash in there. Like I said, when I saw American flag chopped up in there from a weed eater, I picked up every piece of the American flag. That was the day I laid down. Remember, Taryn, you were on that live.
I think I saw a little bit of that.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. I'm falling behind here. Hold on.
Craig said that too. And if we see something, go down to Craig. If he says something about
Hey, William.
thank you for keeping the memory alive. Yeah, absolutely, brother. Thank you. If we see a gravestone taken care of, we won't clean them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're not here for likes and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to find some sheriff.
I totally believe in it on the respect side of it. You know what I mean? Like I totally believe in it. I would do it. I would help do it. He gets
And Taryn, you getting to know me, out of respect, like straight up, my personality. It's not for like, I don't give two shits about a lot of that.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
For sure. And I walk around like when I go to Batstow and stuff, like there's parts of me that wants to, that cemetery is supposed to be still taken care of by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to Batstow Village or the Batstow cemeteries and stuff, that I was walking around there and some of that I'll walk by. If there's a flag on the ground, I pick it up, but I'm not just going to start like going in there and start cleaning stuff, for a cemetery that's supposed to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of stuff out in West Virginia don't get taken care of very well either.
If something fell over, I'll pick it up and I'll try to fix it, or I'll try to, you know what I mean? But what you guys do, obviously it would have to be a place that's not monitored very well.
I just feel bad about it because no, it is, one is monitored very well. There's cameras in there, but I feel bad about it
Not
because
only
I feel
monitored like that, I mean taken care of.
But you're right on other spots because I feel like the families I know the families pay for plots in different cemeteries, and after it's paid for, that rich ass owner, oh yeah, we're just gonna bury them, we're gonna pocket that shit, and then forget about it, and don't get any maintenance for the cemetery grounds and shit like that. A lot is forgotten. You're dead, but that shouldn't be the case. A cemetery
Right.
should be a place of sacred grounds where it's like it should be. If you want to buy that plot as an owner, you're taking the money from the families. You should have it maintained at all times, including the gravestones. I feel that way because it's almost it's a history book.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
When you
What's
think
sad,
about it.
there's a lot of cemeteries now that will only allow you to have in the ground headstones, flat stones, because the maintenance workers are too lazy to mow around the headstones. They could just go over top. I had to fight with where my dad's buried because they rolled over it and broke the stone.
Oh,
And I
jeez.
said, "You're fixing it." They
Yes.
went back and forth with the marble people to the cemetery to the marble people. I said, it's in your area. I said, fix it, and you fight with them to get the money back if you think it's their fault. But we wanted a stand-up headstone, and they won't let us. And I feel like those types of headstones are the ones that are going to get covered and forgotten about.
Oh yeah, I see that. I see that in multiple.
Quicker than anything else.
I'm an empath too, and I do want to say this. When I go to those graves in things like this, I remember with all those graves, there's an entire library there of people with knowledge of what they've seen in their past, whether war or something. Shit we'll never see in our lives. Remember, they went through Christmas, Halloween's, their own birthdays and shit like that. Like, they went through their life seeing all of what we do. And for them to be sitting there in a graveyard to be forgotten on all of what they've seen in life, it's fucking horseshit to me.
I agree.
Sorry, I just see it.
So how do you feel about do you guys go and clean mausoleums too if they're asked to be cleaned?
Mausoleums, I don't think I have never done it.
Are you talking about the ones where you go in and there's a whole bunch of people in?
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty much those.
Well, I'm talking about the outside of the building though, because sometimes they get overgrown as well.
We have them here. I mean, we've talked about maybe replacing the letters outside of the thing because they're all probably washed out from the storms. But I don't think, Ash, correct me if I'm wrong here, we've never actually cleaned the mausoleums, but we did talk about replacing the letters for the people. She could correct me on this one, but I do. I could see the places where the bodies are, and but I don't think we've ever washed them. If it were washed, it was when I was in New Jersey.
Oh, we have conflicting answers here.
We have a lot of mausoleums around here.
Oh wow! I wonder if any activity
Cool.
has been going on there from that. Now that I believe, if all of a sudden they discover unmarked grave, was it a potter's field? Was it?
Interesting.
We don't care about Jeff.
What up,
The
Jeff?
goat.
Hey, Jeff.
Go.
From the goat.
He's a very early on paranormal.
First time meeting Jeff now. Cool.
Yeah, he used to watch Paranormal Brew in 2017 on. Like he is an original.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. So there's the answer. We haven't been asked to clean anything other than out of state, which we can't do at this time.
Well, you guys should expand.
We want to.
You should finally.
We're trying to
try to find other people and then do classes and teach them how to do it.
Well, there you go.
We get people on TikTok to say, "Hey, we really want to do what you guys are doing. We're inspired by you." I know Gemma, our own BB3TV, wants to do it. The 50-50 TikToks, as far as grave guys and shit. We want to inspire people to do it. Just get permission and go in. That's the thing. She's right. We literally don't have any time together. Our little time we have, we either go to the Anchor, which is our spot, boom, or go clean graves.
Right.
But she's right. I mean, when we do get together, we don't inspire. We try to acknowledge the fact that you can do this yourselves. Go to
Yeah.
your local graveyard. Go find the information. Whether
Mhm.
you're in Iowa, California, Florida, New Jersey, you can find a graveyard and you just go clean it. Go find it.
Well, you need permission, and you have to know what you're doing.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
Yeah,
what
I
Get
have no
permission, go
clue,
do
so
it.
I wouldn't touch it. I
Wow.
always walk in the cemeteries just because it's peaceful to walk in there for starters.
Yeah. Craig
And-
just said someone wants us to go to California. Yeah, there's a lady who actually wrote us and said she wants us to come to Compton to start cleaning graves there because she loves what we do. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I'm just reading this.
No,
comments.
that's it.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, I like walking through them for it's peaceful in there, and you see sometimes you just like I said before, you come across some of these really cool graves that these people put out there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like wow. I mean, it's like just to come up with an idea like that for somebody that that's what they are all about in life, so that's how they wanted their headstone to be like.
I've been to Nicolas Cage's grave. He ain't dead.
I was at Adrian Balboa's grave. She ain't dead.
Really?
Yeah. There's a headstone because of the movie when she dies in the movie, and they had the funeral.
Yeah.
Actually filmed at Laurel Hill Cemetery in Philadelphia. They have the headstone still there in the cemetery.
Love it.
Yeah.
How cool
I would
is that?
love to see what
You would have to
Sylvester
next time you
Stallone's
come up,
headstone be like.
I'll take you to Laurel Hill Cemetery. It's
Oh, I'm coming up. I'm gonna come
It's an
visit. Trust me on that one.
an amazing cemetery.
See, she goes, yep, and that's it. That's where I was in New Orleans, where Nicolas Cage was. He has a fucking pyramid. A pyramid.
For National
in
Treasure,
the
probably.
the same cemetery as Marie Levay, but not the same one that you go see as far as being a tourist.
Yeah.
So this is
Yes.
horizontal, right? This going this way is horizontal. So Laurel Hill says housing the horizontal or the what's up and down?
Up
Vertical.
and down, up and down.
Vertical.
Vertical.
Housing the vertically challenged for over 100 years now. Because the horizontal.
I'm not sure what that means. What were you saying there?
Laurel Hill has a sign in the front of the cemetery that says housing
Oh, I get
vertical
it.
challenged for over 100 years because
Yeah, I get
there's
it.
a lot of General Meade is buried. His whole family's buried in that cemetery. There's a lot of famous people buried in that cemetery as well.
Indeed.
Um,
Jeff, what's up? I'm just
Harry
saying hi.
Wallace buried there.
Like I said before, it'd be kind of interesting to see what Sylvester Stallone goes with for a headstone. Do you think he's going to be out there with one of those Rocky thing?
I don't know.
That would be kind of interesting.
I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Harry
would you know
Callis
as a headstone?
is a big, huge microphone.
Who?
He used to. He was a sports announcer for the Phillies for like 85 years. Very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask you guys a question. I know it's your show, Darren, but
No,
like,
go ahead.
if you were able to visit one celebrity's grave, who would it be?
Oh, man. That's a hard one. Because there's so many that I like. Personally, because I'm a paranormal guy. I would like to stop by and see Lorraine Warren's grave.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. How about you, Taryn?
Frank Sinatra.
Mine would be Jim
that'd
Morrison.
be cool too.
In
Who?
France. Jim Morrison.
Oh
Jim
yes,
Morris. Yeah,
The Doors,
I would
yep.
love to see that. Spend a little time at that grave.
I mean, and also Elvis, but Elvis is on Graceland. So, but yeah, Frank Sinatra's I would love to see.
and one that's not dead, but Jean-Claude Van Damme. Sorry.
Well, I hope he doesn't hear this. God, you're wanting
Or any other.
Watch him die
the flip,
tomorrow.
like, you want to come to my grave already? I'm not even dead.
I made a
In that
joke
case,
one year.
Karen, why aren't you saying me?
I made a joke one year with my dad, and it was about Batman, about the Catwoman, Eartha Kitt. And I said, she's still alive. And she died on Christmas Eve, the day I said it.
No.
I'm like, what in the fuck?
Oh
What, she did
no.
the boomerang?
I felt so bad about it. Like, Eartha Kitt died on Christmas Eve. And I'm like, Catwoman's dead. I just asked about this question.
Eartha
She
Kitt
dead today.
actually, she sings my favorite Christmas song, #1 of all
Santa
time.
baby.
Yep.
And Bruce Lee is the other one.
Bruce Lee.
Oh, and he's in Seattle.
If I had to visit another one, it would probably, even though he doesn't have a grave, he has a fountain for himself, and I would love to see it. It's Tupac.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
He was somebody as far as like when I wrote the two poetry.
Well, he died too early.
Yeah, when I wrote the two poetry books, he was actually an idol of mine growing up.
So did Biggie.
Yep.
It was.
Well, they're tying those two together, I think, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
What does the audience say? Do they have a celebrity that they would like to see?
I'd actually like to see Marilyn Monroe's too.
That beautiful. Yeah, that'd
be cool.
I would love to see that too because it's involved. Because I'm obsessed with the Kennedys and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's a love triangle right there.
Yeah. I saw JFK's grave in person.
Yeah, JFK's is cool, but I mean the rest, like General Meade, him and his entire family are buried in Laurel Hill.
Mm-hmm. Man,
so I don't know.
Now let me ask you something. When you go see that, you don't feel the energy there with the soldiers and shit like that? I mean, you don't feel that
in Gettysburg?
Yeah.
I feel it more in the fields.
In the fields, see,
yeah.
And I would agree with you on that, Taryn. That's where you would feel it more, because that's where all the blood was shed. You know.
I did stumble across. I did stumble across a Daughters of the Revolution cemetery a week after I found out I was a Daughter of the Revolution in Gettysburg, and that probably had a lot of energy. I felt a lot of stuff there, but I feel like it might be just, might have just been. At least say Biden.
Nah. What up, Gemma?
I wouldn't want to go there. Definitely wouldn't want to go there.
Sure, you want to think about that twice?
Yeah, I'm sure.
She didn't stutter.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh wait, let's see. Jeff says he's replying to you should go to the cemetery in Chicago where the woman gets in a car and walks out of the cemetery, then disappears.
Interesting.
Well, that's that's a rapper. Yeah, they did that.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think about the graves in New Orleans that are above ground because they can't go into the ground?
Harry Houdini. There was
like get out of that one.
There was something that what happened? There was a flood and all of these coffins.
Yeah, it started floating.
The Lady in White. That's one of my favorite fucking movies, dude. The Lady in White.
I haven't watched it yet, by the way.
Check this shit out. Look, I was telling a certain person today about one of my favorite movies because of my mom. I want to show this on VHS. Look at this. Right next to me.
He's old school VHS.
The old school Lady in White. You guys need to check this movie out.
Yeah, you have to send me a text so I can. I forgot about it.
Is it a scary ghost movie? Is it a scary ghost movie?
It's not scary. It's a good story with ghosts in it. See, my mom said it. It's a good story with ghosts in it. It's old school feel with the Fool and everything. It's just a nice movie.
Taryn, haven't you seen House of a Thousand Corpses?
Nope.
You'll like that one.
Is it gory?
Oh yeah.
No, I won't like that. Why are you talking like that, Darren?
He goes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
It's fucking real gory, man.
No, I like Evil Dead. That's my favorite horror movie.
No, I don't like gore. I can't do gory.
Just close your eyes.
I like ghosty
Let's go.
movies. I like old ghosty movies.
Oh, Ghost.
No, not Ghost.
You don't like Ghost? You don't like Patrick Swayze?
Okay. It
Actually,
wasn't,
Ashley said something there. Hurricane Katrina did flood the city.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, and bodies were, yeah, that's 100% true.
no,
It was the first time.
this was like somewhere where like they didn't know people were buried, and there was so now like this now it's like there's all these things underground inside the water somewhere. I can't remember.
Inside the water?
Yeah, they're still in the water,
Oh, well, shit, maybe.
but I don't know where that was at. I'll have to look it up.
It was the first time, like, so I learned from New Orleans too. I had like the locals, some of the locals, they were called gutter punks at the time, right? You familiar with this? They were just locals, homeless people who run and dump on the tourists, and like I hung out with them, and I hung out on the streets with them,
Okay.
and I watched the tourists. I'm dressed nice with my cousin and shit like that, so I watched these tourists like, oh, you look down on me and shit like that, with their big balls around their neck, with all this type of shit. And but they took me to the real spot. So what I'm getting to the story, long story short, is they explained to me why every house is different colored and shit like that. Every house is different colored to confuse the spirits, because the voodoo is so strong there. So like if a house is pink, they may have blue shutters going down every I want to say hole of the road, but the road it is, so every house is different colors. It's to confuse the spirits, and that's what they explained to me, and why everything's so different colors,
Interesting.
the voodoo and shit. Like I didn't know that until
Voodoo is very big down there. Absolutely.
in
Hoodoo.
New Orleans, and Marie LeVay was the queen of it.
Hoodoo. I heard about. I found out.
Hoodoo.
I found out hoodoo really existed. I thought it was just because of that movie, The Skeleton Key. I was like, is that really a thing? And I found out it is really a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They got that out in the Carolinas too. I believe it's Charleston is where some voodoo work is done
You're
too.
saying voodoo with a V. I'm saying H.
I know.
Yeah, I know you're saying hoodoo.
There's hoodoo and then there's voodoo.
Yeah,
Right.
and I'm saying voodoo.
Yeah, voodoo is. I believe it's the same concept, but it's
something
done differently though. It's done in a different format.
Oh, John Kobe's right there. The Cesare, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for being with us. That'll be a BB3 exclusive. Amazing, brother. Can't wait to see.
I
the
love
show
John
with you on there.
Kobe.
So with all the grave stuff that we just talked about, so would you like to get into a little bit more of?
Well, let me just say this: when I was walking
Yeah, I got
around
some
the
time. I can.
cemetery, when I was walking around the cemetery, John Kobe, I was walking around the cemetery in Gettysburg, and John was actually watching with me while I was live, and he was actually connecting. He was remote viewing and connecting with a young girl spirit that was following me around while I was walking around.
Cool.
Now I didn't pick up on that. John did, so I was walking around totally. I wasn't feeling any energy,
Mm-hmm.
And he was remote viewing and picked up on a woman there and stuff. And so I was just walking around because I love the history of. I love old cemeteries. I love walking around and reading the stones. I love it, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
That's a perfect example right there, where I was just walking around and I was just like looking at all the headstones, and John bumps in and he's like, "There's a girl with you." There's a young girl with you, and he was picking up on that. I did not feel that energy at all.
So after he told you about that, did you feel more different then, or did you just feel the same way?
I think human nature, your brain just kind of automatically will,
There's the heart.
Thanks, Jeff. But I think your mind just automatically, once you know that, or you feel like somebody's connecting with that, I feel like, your brain just automatically will. I don't know if you're opening up or if you're just your brain's playing tricks on you. Do you know
I
what
go
I
in investigation mode.
Yeah. Well, I'm
That's just
always
me,
investigating, even when I'm not.
right? Sometimes we don't even realize that we're doing it. So, with some time we got left here, so you want to talk a little bit about BB3TV and where you would like to take it and where you see it in the next 10 years from now?
10 years. Holy shit.
I'm going 10 years instead of 5 because everybody says 5, so I'm going 10.
I think that it would be a really good thing for you guys to have a class on gravestones. And you know what? You can charge people for classes like that, you know?
But I wouldn't feel right about it.
I
I
know you
honestly
wouldn't
wouldn't feel right about it.
But I'm just saying because Ashley said we have jobs. Well, yeah, but
We do. And here,
one day maybe this will be your job.
well, here's the thing. All right, so here's the money making part of it, and not cleaning graves. It's common sense. If you go to at grave guys, grave underscore guys TikTok, there is a thing to donate money for us. The money only goes to brushes, more D2 that we buy from a certain a product where the D2 is something that's only allowed in Arlington Cemetery. That's the only one allowed on the military graves. We only pick that. We're not going to pick something that's going to poison the well, also hurt a grave. I mean, it's about $50 a bottle. It costs us money. I'm buying the next bottle. I mean, we've already bought that. We had one donated from us from all Atlas Preserves. Ash, I think I got that right. Actually, put that up there if you have time to say where to buy the D2. If anybody's interested in D2 biological solution, $50 a gallon, right? And we buy it from only one place. And it's the only place because they sponsored us for a second. But we don't make any money on it. The money we would make with the donations would actually go to gas money to get there. The brushes, the D2 solution.
Now, the D2 solution, can you use that on any type of a stone?
Yes. It's the only one allowed in Arlington Cemetery. That's why I
have a family member buried there.
Wow.
So actually, I take it back. I would like to go see my family member's grave at Arlington Cemetery.
There it is, Atlas Preserve. Put that up there real quick, Darren. Please, for a moment. That's the website you go to get the D2 solution to clean graves. D2 is where you go buy it. That's where we buy our shit from. And we only trust in it because if they're able to clean military graves and make sure it's preserved, that's what we trust in is atlaspreservation.com with D2 solution.
Okay.
I promise you that. We're not going to I mean, you could start with soap and water, but like when I told you about the sand that comes off of the graves, you got to understand that's the only thing we trust.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would go to Frank Sinatra's grave after I go see my family members because I just found out about it.
And it's really cool, Taryn. When you sprayed this on there, you spray it on. You wait 15 minutes. 15 minutes, the entire grave blushes like an orange, a beautiful orange.
Yeah, when I was watching it with you guys, I was watching it while you guys were doing it.
Yeah, it was so cool. I love you there too. So go back and watch that. Just check it out, guys. I mean, we enjoy doing it. We're not doing it for likes and all that. We literally just enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. That's a great cause though too. I mean, the more when I sat and watched you guys do it, I've seen a few other people that were doing it as well. So it's a catching thing. It's a theme that's going on, but it's not as big as you want it to be just yet. But you know what I mean?
We don't own it. Grave guys, we just picked the name so we can do it together so people know what to follow us. We don't own grave cleaning at all. You guys just please do it. Do it. Just do it because it's the right fucking thing to do. Mm-hmm. How about that?
You feel good in your heart and your body and your soul about it.
Yeah, man.
And it's rewarding at the end for you and for other people as well.
I hope the families love what we do, and I hope they appreciate it. And
I would.
That's what I'm saying. That's all that counts.
Because the people that run the cemeteries, they don't. And that might just be it's too old, or it could be like where my dad's buried and they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I mean they take care of it, but they take care of it very haphazardly, like it's not,
Mhm.
so the fact that you guys are going to these graves and you're taking better care of the graves than one, the family, or two, the place that's supposed to be taking care of them, you know, in that way, because you spend over $10,000 for
That's
whatever,
what I'm saying.
Right.
you know, um,
Absolutely.
to have people that it's selfless, you know what I mean? Like you're not getting anything from it. You're going there to do this out of respect for those
Yeah.
that, and it doesn't matter. And who cares if it's a Confederate? Who cares if it's a Union? Who cares if it's? I mean, I wouldn't recommend going and cleaning Hitler's headstone
I
if there
piss
is
all over that one.
there is. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, Jeffrey Dahmer could probably, his could probably rot away. Michael Vick
Yeah.
eventually. Michael Vick's could rot away. I wouldn't give a shit.
Sure, I understand what you're saying there, which makes perfect sense. But like, going on that, like I said, with Confederates and things like that, people shit on Ashley, Craig, and myself for even going in there to clean Confederates' grave. We got cursed at, and
Well,
we're
that's
like,
just
you know what, dude? This is a part of their time and a part of life that
right,
they had to go through. Like,
right.
why destroy it? Why should I say
It was a
in
different,
reference spit on their grave?
yeah.
Right? Why? It's
Well, that's
history.
just like Gettysburg. I mean, the Confederates were buried where they laid. The Union was the Union soldiers got proper burials. The Confederates were just buried wherever they fell.
Under a fucking tree or a septic tank.
Now imagine that being one of your family members. Like, and this is 159 years ago, okay? People,
Yeah.
159 years ago, the world was a totally different place. I'm not saying it was right or wrong. I don't know. I wasn't there. But
Yeah.
I the fact of the matter is, for millions of years, there have been ceremonies and this and that for those that pass away or cross over. It's written in hieroglyphics on walls. There's certain things that many cultures over thousands of years have done. And it's only
Yeah.
right to continue that no matter what.
I also find it disgusting on top of this, as what you're saying, like you're gonna say fuck me to me and like disgusting that we clean graves, for for knowledge that you're not like younger generations. They don't take the schooling to understand the Confederate Army, you know, what it's
How
about, the
about how
Union,
about
all
there
this.
were black Confederate
I
regiments,
know there were, I know it, but
black
like,
Confederate uh, um, oh my gosh, generals or captains or I mean there were officers. I mean we don't need to go there, but I'm just saying, you
and there
know,
was no black and white to it. It's like these are soldiers within the time period. Like you got
Hmm.
to learn about it. If you don't learn about the history, you may make the same mistake in the future. Am I not wrong?
exactly.
Or am I not right? Whatever the fuck what I was using there.
Well, I mean, like I said this in another show, that history does repeat itself. You know what I mean?
Blue or gray? I like that, Pamela. Blue or gray?
Yeah.
100%.
But that's what's happening. We're canceling culture. It's like everything's being erased from the American Native Indians. For the Native American Indians, everything's being erased. They're erasing anything that were African American icons or the culture that made, removing Aunt Jemima from this and that and this. I understand a little bit on that side, but that they're icons. They made changes in our
Mhm.
Hmm.
history for the
Taryn
better.
is right.
What?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. What they're relieving is education to all of this. Taryn, you are 100% right with everything you just said. It's fucking horseshit. This new generation, and we're not going to go into it like this
Yeah,
because
because
Taryn, this is your show, but like, I feel like if they grew up the way Taryn, myself, you, and Craig, and everybody, we all grew up, we're a solid crew and we know what life is. We understand, what we have, what we don't have. We understand history.
Hmm.
I mean, in
We don't.
100 years, are they going to take down? George Floyd statue because George Floyd almost killed a woman, a pregnant woman. You know, I'm just saying, like in 100 years, are they going to look back and be like, how we lived our lives now? They think it's inappropriate, so they're just going to erase our history.
It's fucking crazy, man.
So
I don't want to be around in about 100 years.
Me either,
No,
because
I'm
you know
saying,
it's just so
like,
bad, and
I have-
everything. You know, I could get into so much, like with Taryn. Like I agree with Taryn a lot. I could get into this, but then like we're not talking about gravestones no more. This is now
Nope.
off the cuff. with
yeah, I know.
Yeah, this is off the cuff. That's not this show.
So
You really can't. You can't erase history.
No.
I mean, it's just like I use the example all the time of going in through the 9/11 memorial. I went through the 9/11 memorial, and as I'm walking through, there's a section they have set off where it's got all the terrorist photos, it's got their pictures, it's got some of their clothes, it's got the laptops, it's got some of their boarding passes, it's got their IDs. And I got so fucking mad and angry. How dare they put these people up, and how dare they show who their faces are, because that's what they wanted. That's what they feel that gets them to go to Allah, is that they get they get, this exposure, for what they did to us, how they how they tried to cripple us. I was so angry. But then again, think about it. 100 years, when there's a 7-year-old walking through the 9/11 memorial, and if we erase that part of it, why did it happen? Who did it?
Mm-hmm.
So
How do we prevent it from happening again? We won't have that information if you don't have who's responsible for what happened.
can you repeat a little bit of that? You say that there's the terrorists are marked on walls as far as photography.
Yeah, so their pictures are up. It tells their names. There's also stuff that was found in the rubbles, like there was a laptop that was recovered. There was clothing, there was boarding passes, there was like stuff that they've collected, and it's actually in the 9/11, like it's through the museum, throughout the
Can I
museum.
ask you this question? Are
Yeah.
there pictures up there to never forget the pieces of shit that did this to our country?
Right.
To look at them and say "fuck you."
Believe
to
me,
you
it got
every
me
time?
so angry, and I thought, my God, like I get it. Like if we were to say, take this, erase this, like take this off, there's no way they should have their
Right.
pictures up. There's no way that we should remember who they were. Well, if we don't remember who they are, we're going
Sure.
to forget why or how it happened and how to prevent it from happening again.
Taryn, I love you. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't have no more to say on that because we're gonna get too deep into it, and I don't. It's not about the religion. It's about those fucks that did it, and I'm glad their pictures up so I can look at them when I see them to know that they fucking hurt an entire city, and I want them to remember it
Country.
as pieces
World.
of shits.
A country.
Yeah.
Tried, but
Anyway,
if you minus that, if you take that out of the equation, if somebody comes in one day and goes, oh my God, they should not be that needs to be taken down because of what they did,
Mm-hmm.
then 50 years from then, if somebody's going to be walking through there, like I said, a 7 or 10-year-old, how can you teach someone
you can't.
where you come from if you don't have a part of the history?
Love it, girl. Thank you for that.
And how do you
Look at our arms up too at the same time? We're like teaching. Fucking
evolve?
elementary right now.
How do you evolve from that when you don't
See,
have the history?
Amber sees it. She says, "Yep." And you know what? We'll only say it.
Not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying
It's not. It just
part
that's our
of
opinion.
the story. Is part of what happened.
History is what makes us.
Just don't take that away from us. I mean, honestly, you have to learn from all mistakes. Honestly, like you take down all those monuments and shit of Confederates. I mean, how you gonna walk through parks and shit and not with things?
And who are you to say, like, if you like my ex-boyfriend, his ancestor was General Jeb Stuart from the Confederacy. What is now my ex-boyfriend a bad person just because his ancestor was Jeb Stuart and he wants to have, which mind you, there's probably about, I don't know how many, but that flag that has been deemed like this racist thing was a battle flag only.
Yeah.
It didn't represent what it represents today. The KKK made it what it represents today.
And I gotta say something too about this whole thing. Like, I grew up with, I'm Taryn. I was born a Catholic, but like most of my friends were Muslim growing up, like in their households and stuff like that. When 9/11 hit, it was one of these things where it's like I watched the world turn on the Islamic religion, and I'm seeing my friends as no bad guys. They're looking at them as they're all terrorists, and I'm like, this is not right. This is just not the right way to go. You're preaching to something that, like, you're calling them all bad guys. My best friend is Muslim. How are you gonna call him a bad guy when he didn't do nothing wrong? He had no part of that. Things like that. Like they literally cornered a religion.
Yeah,
Which
people get wrong for
sucks.
things they're not part of.
And here's the thing too, back then, and I keep bringing up the Civil War, but like, there were brother against brother. It wasn't Union Confederate. It wasn't, it was brother against brother. It was families, best friends fighting, for what they believed in. There was, I mean, like, you can't, I mean, it was a different time. It was a completely different time.
I think we lived on a different planet. I don't know what the fuck happened. I think some kind of fucking time shift happened, man. I don't think we exist anymore. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I honestly, I believe that. I mean,
I could identify as a chick if I want now. I go back to school. I identify as a 2-year-old. I don't have to go to fucking work, and I'm a girl. Right?
Did you see the one meme I put up where it's like no drink alcoholic beverages, and there's like something you put over a can that says I identify as a soda?
I don't know.
I'm not
Guys,
making
I'm
fun
sorry
of
if
it.
you hated me for my comments and stuff. I know I'm in Darren's show, but I'm here. I'm speaking the truth. I am BB3TV with Taryn and Tom, but like, I speak my mind, and I'm gonna speak the truth every time. And I appreciate everyone for being here, no matter what. So
Yeah, that's a
I
great
don't know what
show.
to say. If you don't like me, don't like me.
Pam will be coming on the Brew August 10th to promote the bash the week before the bash, Gettysburg Battlefield Bash.
Are we getting our symbol on there or what? So I can share it for once. For Christ's sake.
Share it. I don't care.
Oh, there's Pam.
It's probably
her. Where's our symbol? I didn't realize it was her.
She said yes.
I'll share it no matter what. You know that.
Yeah, well, I always share. I share it no matter what. She doesn't have to put us on there.
So I want to say something about Pamela too, and with Taryn, we're part of the bash and things like that. I got to experience first in person, but people like Pamela and Steve are needed in what we do in paranormal.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They literally host an event that we all get together, host it to where the family of what we do, skeptic or not, vendors, they just make something happen, and they have the best. They literally have the best one going. I'm just gonna put it on the line. They are the paranormal right there.
Pam and Steve have done wonderful. I mean, they
It's
are
amazing.
such good people. The bash benefits wounded warriors and children with cancer, sick children. And it is, aside from Para Unity, it's probably one of it's the funnest. I see. The only reason why I'm a little biased is because it's in Gettysburg and it's Pam and Steve. They're my best friends. I mean, like, some of my best friends, but
yeah, it's you're showing nepotism, but at the same time you're showing realness, because they really they prove what they put out.
Yeah,
Truly.
I mean, it's
Truly.
so great. It really is. I have so much fun, and all of my friends are there, and like, I literally feel so safe in a place with all these people, because I mean, literally, you're partying all weekend, but you're also supporting. There's lectures, there's vendors, there's so much fun to be had, and it's in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. There's no better place in the world that a Paracon could be in, but Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
I cannot wait to see
a Paracon. I don't even think they consider it a Paracon. It's just,
I don't even know.
because it's not
But I
all paranormal. There's cigars. There's going to be a cigar lounge there. There's cigar.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to the cigar lounge. Pamela, you going to play the cigar lounge? I can promise you that. Now, I can only imagine where this really holds in the future with how we all network together, like with Pamela, with the Gettysburg Bash, Paranormal Brew, BB3 TV. Like, we only could build so much. Like, we're going to just keep building up. I mean, this is something that's like big now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
my
it's
heart,
going to
I'm
get
going to
bigger.
push it
It's gonna
every
get
year. BB3 TV will be there every year from here now.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and I thank Pam. She let me. I squeezed in Tim Miley for autographs for pooches. Like I mean, even his event it goes for local animal shelters.
I
You know,
don't know how to thank her, Taryn. I don't know how to thank her. I don't think there's a thank you enough for her. I don't think there's a thank you enough for what they really truly do.
I'll just motorboat her. She'll be happy.
Anyway, Pamela,
You heard it here first.
I'll see you in Gettysburg.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And thank
I'm
you
going to
from
see her sooner.
straight up.
I'm definitely going to see her sooner.
And put our symbol on the flyer for once. For Christ's sake, we want to get.
She doesn't have to.
Oh, I want to see it. Yes, you have to. I'll pay another. Well, whatever.
I'll take another.
So it's after 9 o'clock here.
Well, it's after 10 o'clock here, Darren.
Yeah, well, 9 for me. So, Dom, do you want to shout out your stuff and what you got coming up? And then we'll move on to Taryn, and then I'll finish up.
I'll make it pretty quick. I do have 2 books in the world, which is about to be put out there again. One's called Mind's Eye, the other one's called 2, Amazon.com. However, though, you can find me exclusive on BB3 TV and only BB3 TV, but also with, family. Paranormal Brew as well, even though it's separated. Taryn gave me the opportunity to post over there as well, and it's amazing the family structure that you can have with all this, like Paranormal Brew, BB3 TV. Even though it's separated, things like that, like we are growing as a family. So you can only find me at Real Talk with Dom and Community Chats with Taryn most of the time on BB3 TV. So just find me at BB3 TV. Is I'm so humbled in saying this because I don't know how to answer this truly.
Mm-hmm.
You can only find me at BB3 TV. I'm so proud of this entire crew, truly, when I get down to it.
Oh, I love all of it.
Absolutely.
I love everybody that's a part of it.
That's a hell of a show tonight.
Taryn, I know. Now I'm like I can call her Mama 2 Books because now I know what 2 Books means.
There'll be number 3, and I'm going to ask the entire staff, not staff or whatever it is, entire crew of BB3 to put in their words for number 3.
Oh, that's
Everybody
awesome.
will have words in my 3rd book, final book.
Sweet.
Thank you, Gemma. You guys, TikTok
so-
videos are funny, girls. I crack up every time I see those TikTok videos. I laugh my ass off.
So, Taryn, what you got coming up?
I have, what's this week?
Your work week.
So I have Bill Slevin on Wednesday.
Great guy. He's part of BB3.
And then I am actually taking April's class, so that'll be Thursday for me. Sunday, I'm having a spooky Sunday. I had to move that up. Actually, I got to talk to him. I don't know if that's going to happen, so I got to just double check that. But I should have a show Sunday at 9.
Hold on.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, fucker.
Wait, let me get a picture of that.
Oh, for the noogie. The noogie. What the fuck? Let's keep going.
Keeps changing so fast.
We gotta go back. Sorry, let's go back and screenshot that shit.
Yeah, so
Amber, Knight, I hope to see you again on another show. Get him. Taryn, phone. Get him.
I took it.
Got him again.
Good night, babe.
For being here.
So Amber, they have she's part of
Yep.
BB3TV. They have paranormal real estate where they do live
Oh
investigations.
yeah, she's the new. Okay,
Yep. It's a fun time. She does good work.
cool.
Yep.
Welcome, fam. Thank
yeah,
you.
her and her husband definitely do some cool stuff. They go out and they go to haunted locations or abandoned locations, should I say, and kind of like snoop around, which is I love that so much.
Yep. It's kind of like urbexing a little bit in a way.
But yeah, no, I have some awesome stuff coming. I have like Dustin Perry, Josh Hurd. I have Mike Ricksecker, John Ruggiero, Nuka's on the Block concert,
They're still alive.
Pitbull
Oh.
concert.
I forgot to tell you, New Kids on the Block are gonna be on Tom and Dom's World.
Yeah, right.
Just kidding. Oh fuck that! I'm gonna make that happen now that you said that. I'm gonna call all my people tomorrow.
You get them on Dom and Tom's World.
She'll never stop crying.
Step by step, ooh baby.
Gonna get. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see them.
Ew.
June 29th. I can't wait. I go every year they come.
Interesting.
All right, so are we ending this or what?
Yeah.
Just gonna give a little spiel real quick. So, Wednesday, Paranormal Question Day will still be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Central Time. Haven't picked a topic yet, but we'll find one. And Friday, I will be actually down in Iowa at Edinburgh Manor. And who knows, I might pop in with a Paranormal Question Day later on. So, we'll see what that goes there. But keep an eye out for investigations on Friday night and Saturday night. I'll try and go live as much as I can. Now, the Wi-Fi is very spotty there, so if I can't make it work, we'll try. So,
Wait, before you go off, can I say something?
yes, go ahead.
Step by step,
Yeah.
ooh, baby. Night, guys. BB3TV.
So, for Dom
Yes.
and Taryn, and I'm Darren,
Wait, before you bid adieu, can I say one more thing?
Before you bid
Step by step.
before you bid adieu.
I get it.
I bid you adieu, and you have been watching BB3 TV and Paranormal Brew Network. So long, everybody.